This is part 2 of my story, the boarding school night prep I'll never forget. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I strongly recommend you pause this video and watch it first so you understand how everything began. And if stories like this matter to you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to support the channel. Now, let me tell you what happened next. My name is Faith, and by the time the sun rose the next morning, the school I feared more than anything was about to fear someone else. I didn't sleep. Every sound felt louder than normal: the bell rope, footsteps, even my own breathing. My body still ached, but the pain wasn't what kept me awake. It was the memory of my father's voice on the phone. "Stay where you are," he said quietly. "No one will touch you again." By morning devotion, something was wrong. Teachers were whispering instead of shouting. Prefects stood around, unsure of what to do. Students kept turning to look at me, some curious, some scared, some pitying. Then the rumor spread like wildfire. "Her father is coming from Abuja. They say he's furious. They say he's a soldier. They say he's a lawyer." No one knew the truth, but everyone felt the fear. At exactly 10:27 a.m., a black SUV drove into the school compound. It didn't stop at the gate. The driver didn't ask permission. The car moved slowly, deliberately, like it knew it owned the place. When the door opened, my heart dropped. That was my father. He stepped out calmly, too calmly. No shouting, no rushing, just anger, controlled and cold. The principal ran out to meet him, forcing a smile that couldn't hide her panic. "Good morning, sir." My father raised one hand. "Where is the child you beat last night?" The compound went silent. Students stopped moving. Teachers froze. Even the birds seemed to pause. Inside the administration office, the air was thick. Teachers crowded the room. The principal kept adjusting her glasses, sweating. My father stood in the middle and spoke slowly. "I was woken up at midnight by a child crying in pain, a child you were meant to protect." He turned to the principal. "You told her to go and sleep." No one answered. Then he said the words that shattered everything: "Call Mr. Godwin." Mr. Godwin walked in confidently at first, until he saw my father, his face drained of color. The female teacher followed behind him, arms folded, already defensive. My father didn't shout. He asked one question: "Did you touch my daughter?" Mr. Godwin laughed nervously. "That's a lie. She's a troublesome girl." The female teacher nodded quickly. "She bullies students. We only disciplined her." My father looked at them for a long moment. Then he said, "So you beat a child together at night in a locked staff room?" Silence. He turned to the principal again. "Is that your definition of discipline?" The principal stammered. That was when my father placed his phone on the table and pressed play. My voice filled the room, crying, shaking, broken. The room collapsed into chaos. The female teacher started shouting. Mr. Godwin began to sweat, denying everything until another student was called in. Then another, then another. Stories poured out: night calls, threats, punishments for rejection. Mr. Godwin's knees buckled. The same man who bullied me couldn't even look up. By afternoon, both teachers were suspended on the spot. A formal investigation was opened. The school begged my father to handle it quietly. He refused. "You cared about your reputation more than my child's life," he said. "Now you will care about the truth." I left at school weeks later, but the fear I felt that night, it ended the moment my father walked through that gate. Because for the first time, the school learned something they never expected. The quiet girls also have voices, and some fathers will burn the system down to protect their daughters. If you've stayed with this story until now, then you understand something important. Silence doesn't protect the innocent, it protects the powerful, and power without accountability is dangerous. Truth doesn't need shouting, it needs courage. Sometimes all it takes to break a system built on fear is one voice that refuses to disappear. If stories like this matter to you, stories about courage, truth, and quiet strength, please like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters more than you think. And subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of stories that remind us what standing up really costs. because fear only wins when we stay quiet. And Faith's courage proves that speaking up is the first step toward justice.